Okay, so I got this pork shoulder that I picked up for $20. It's almost 10 kilograms of pork. When you see it at a price like this, you buy as many as you can. I had 5 in my freezer here. So I'm going to get this one all prepped up and ready to go. You can see it's got lots of fat on there. It's even though it's frozen and still in the bag, it's got lots of fat in there. It's got lots of everything you want. And what I've done is I've prepared a brine with molasses and lots of salt and some brown sugar, and I'm going to throw a couple of bay leaves in there. You can put in pretty much whatever you want. You just want to make sure it's nice and salty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this shoulder in, and I'll show you how I keep it nice and cold and temperature controlled while it thaws. Okay, so I got my shoulder in the brine now, and it's just going to sit in there and get happy. Because it's frozen, it's going to take quite some time before it thaws. But one thing I want to do to make sure that it always stays cold and never reaches any zone where it might be in food danger is I'll take just a Ziploc bag full of ice and rest it on top of there. Once it's on there, I just throw in a little bit more water just to make sure that it's entirely covered. Then I just leave it and I check on it every day, make sure that there's still ice in this bag. As long as there's still ice in that bag, everything's still thawing, then we're fine. Once it's all thawed out, then on the smoke it goes. Yeah, so here it is. It's out of the brine. Washed it up really well. It's important that you rinse it really well. And when you get the salt and things off it, all those flavors kind of help to do their magic. It softens and it does all that stuff. And when it came out of the cooler, there was still a ton of ice still in there. So that lets you know that that you've maintained good food security. It stayed cold and your pork is still safe. I've got the barbecue started. I used the Shaggy's Balls method to lighten that up. So it starts up for a nice low and slow, and it'll hold about 125, 130 all day. Only thing left to do now is to rub it up and get it on the grill. So I'm going to rub it up. This is the meatier side. When I flip it over, you'll see all that fat on the other side there. And of course, we're going to put it in fat side up. So as all that fat, as it melts and renders, it'll do its job and kind of naturally basting the pork as we go. Alright, so I'll see you when I'm throwing it on the grill. So here we are, meat's ready, smoker's ready. Whoop, there goes my probe. So, that's the probe that I keep on the barbecue. The other probe goes in the meat. Now the meat is, I just checked the inside temperature of the meat, and it's down at 40 degrees. And the temperature of the smoker just now is sitting in around 210. So we'll get this on right now. I want to keep it on the indirect side if we can. Got the smoke coming up this way. This is indirect with a drip pan and a little bit of water in there. So that should keep it happy for the entire time. I'll put my barbecue probe on that side. I'm going to clean my hands before I shut the lid, and there we are. Yeah, so I forgot to mention today I'm using cherry wood as my smoke wood. Soaked it overnight, and it's doing its thing. I'm just going to set up, I'll come over the other side here. Set up, this is my meat probe, plugs in over here, and it'll give me the news on the meat. So there we are. This is my barbecue probe, and I usually just fire it right down the hole here. And that sits there and gathers the data. And over here, this is telling me that the meat's at, okay, the meat's at 41. I've got that close to the middle, not touching a bone. And barbecue probe is going to be a while coming up, but barbecue probe, I don't even know if you can see that or not, but Has here at 111, but it takes time for it to catch up with the temperature inside because it was at room temperature. So anyway, so nothing to do but keep an eye on that temperature. Want to keep it as close to 225, 230 through the course of the day, and I just leave it be for 3 hours to take on some smoke. There we are. Okay, so the temperature, if you can see it, it's holding steady, 226 right now. And she's been on there for a little better than 4 hours, just about 4 hours. So we're going to have a look, see what we got. Oh, look at that. That is looking wonderful. Nice crust starting up there. Still looks nice and juicy. There's certainly there's still some moisture in the drip tray. So can figure that we haven't lost a whole lot of moisture. What we're going to do now, you see how there's skin there that just crisping up nicely. What we're going to do now is taking on enough smoke, we're just going to wrap it in foil. And at this point we can either transfer it to the oven, but I mean it's holding the temperature so well that why would you transfer it? We'll just leave it where it is. Let it finish up right where it is. So I'm going to wrap it up, and then we'll let it sit for another few hours. The temperature inside the meat was 150. No, food is 117. So we've got a few more degrees to go before we're anywhere close to being ready there. But we'll wrap it up, and that'll help the meat itself cook a bit better. It'd probably help to have a pair of tongs or something. So it's a nice tight wrap on there. All the smoke's in. You can either leave it here or we can put it in the oven, but I'm going to leave it here. Keep an eye on that temperature. Shut my vent back down so as I keep it hovering in around 225. And we'll check it again in a couple hours.